Ladies and gentlemen, just when we thought it was over between Crawford and Spence, it's not it's not over, because Terence Crawford went on his Instagram live just last night, and he gave his truth, some entailing details about the breakdowns in negotiations and what really happened behind the scenes. And what we're going to do here today is we are going to analyze everything that Terence Crawford said. Some of you that are on this channel as subscribers or viewers, you have seen me in other interviews, particularly on YSM Media, when I said, and I'm going to say it again now, that I have learned in my journey of life how to listen to the words that people say and how to listen to the words that people don't say. And we're going to analyze the words that Bud Crawford said last night and the words that Bud Crawford did not say. Let's listen to a little bit of what Bud Crawford had to say, and then I'm going to come back and give my analysis. Roll the tape.
All right, so listen, y'all. I'm about to give it to y'all raw and uncut. You know, I started talking to Team Spence, I would say, and Al Hammond and them about May, you know, right after his fight, you know, just going back and forth. You know, they sending me a proposal with the interest of Spence and Crawford fight. We didn't get a contract until August, and, you know, it was just kind of like a regular contract. You know, it wasn't nothing. It was initial proposal. It wasn't even a contract. It was a proposal, and Spence, Crawford, the intentions of us fighting. Okay, so we going on the basically the negotiations of what a contract would look like before we actually got the actual contract. Al goes in to saying a guy that I don't know, never represented me, not affiliated with Team Crawford, have no whatsoever place in Team Crawford's, you know, stable, representing me in a contract which I have no nothing upon that I agreed to. So basically that was a standpoint of what the contract would look like. So basically, I'm talking to Al, and I'm like, Al, come on, man, I don't even know this guy. You know, we going back and forth, you know. I was a good dude, man. I was a, you know, charming guy, you know. He's a cool dude, you know. I kind of like talking to him, but at the same time, Spence is our guy. I'm not. So, of course, he's going to do what's best for, you know, his fighter, his guy. That's like, you know, any other manager / advisor would do. He would do the best for his fighter.
Okay, so we just heard Terence Crawford say that in May of this year, Al Hammond sent him an initial proposal after Spence fought Ugas in April. Y'all remember when Spence called out Crawford in the post-fight interview inside the ring right after the fight with Ugas. He called out Crawford, right? Now, in May, according to Crawford, is when Al Hammond sent an initial proposal, right, to Terence Crawford. Now, Terence Crawford also said that literally almost 60 days later, in August, Al Hammond sends him a contract. Well, you heard him say, well, it was a regular contract. Then he said, well, it really wasn't a contract, it was a proposal. See, let me tell you what's going on here. Bud Crawford was being honest for the first 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden he started veering off. The truth is that Al Heyman sent him an initial proposal in May. This is before he sent the contract. And then almost 60 days later, he sends him a contract in August. A contract, okay? Now, Bud made a distinction between proposal and contract. So that's why I'm saying in August, like what Crawford is saying, that Al Heyman sent him a contract in August because he made a distinction between the two, okay? Now, either Bud is lying or Bud does not know the difference between a proposal and a contract because he used the words regular contract, and he does have over 30 plus professional fights in this business. I would like to say that Bud Crawford knows the difference between a proposal and a contract, okay? Now, he also said, his words, not mine, he said, Al is a good dude. He keeps saying that Al Heyman is a good dude. He said that Al Heyman is a charming guy. He's a cool dude. He said, I like talking to Al Heyman. We heard him give Al Heyman praise before, didn't we? I've already exposed that on my very channel on part 2 of the interview analysis I did, what was that, a few days ago? Now, don't take my word for it. Let's play a small little clip, a little reminder to all of you viewers right now watching, when Bud Crawford gives praise to Al Heyman in June of 2020.
All of them can be bad. I've been saying from day one, you know, Al Heyman, you know, he's doing tremendous, great things with the PBC and the PBC fighters and stuff like that, but he's not a promoter. So by him not being a promoter and by those fighters not having a promotion contract with any promoter, they can fight on any platform that they would choose.
You heard him, right? So what I'm doing right now is I'm setting the foundation. I'm setting the foundation like this for a reason. So stay with me, okay? The foundation I'm setting right now is that Bud Crawford, from June 2020 all the way up until the beginning of this interview right here, he keeps giving Al Heyman all of this praise. He keeps saying Al Heyman is a good dude. Al Heyman is a cool dude. I like talking to Al Heyman. He said, what I just played for y'all, what did he say? He said Al Heyman is doing a tremendous job. He's doing a great job with the PBC fighters. He's doing a tremendous job over there with PBC. I'm setting the foundation for that because that is important. Now, moving right along. Spence also, this is Crawford talking, Spence is also Al's guy. I'm not Al's guy, but Spence is. And of course, Al is going to do what's best for his fighter. He's going to do what's best for his guy. That's like any other manager / advisor would do. They would do the best for their fighter. That's what Bud Crawford just said. Now let's interpret that very clearly. And I'm qualified to interpret that this way because as a boxing manager in this business, let me explain something to you. And every boxer, professional or amateur looking to be professional, hear me and hear me good. If you don't listen to nothing else that I say in this video, I'm going to empower you today. Good representation in this business of boxing is priceless. Let me say that again. Good representation in this business of boxing is priceless. So it sounds like to me that not only is Bud Crawford giving kudos and praise and acknowledgement and recognition to Al Heyman because he's a good guy. He's doing a tremendous guy over there at PBC. He's doing tremendous over there with the PBC fighters. He is a cool guy. I like talking to him. Not only is Bud saying all of that about Al Heyman, but he's also not saying, which is the word that he's not saying, is that Al Heyman has become good representation for Errol Spence. Because he, Al Heyman, had been representing Spence in Spence's best interests, okay? Poor or bad representation is the total opposite. Poor or bad representation is when that representative is only representing in the best interest of themselves and not the best interest of the fighter. So I just wanted to lay the foundation that Bud Crawford from June 2020 all the way to now has been giving Al Heyman his flowers and letting him smell it. Moving right along.
So, me and Al, we talks on the phone, I get advice from other guys in PBC. They tell me, be careful, make sure the deal is right. They tell me, make sure you don't get fucked. Just normal things from guys that's in they stable that I'm friends with. I honestly can say I'm friends with. So, we going on and on.
Terence Bud Crawford said him and Al Heyman talking on the phone. They've been talking on the phone. He also said that PBC fighters over there in the stable of PBC, whom Al Heyman most likely represents, has been giving him advice. And they've been telling him, make sure that the deal is right. Make sure that you don't get screwed. Just make sure that everything looks good. Now, there was a question that was posed by, I think his name is Blue Blood Sports or Blue Blood Sports TV. He is a YouTuber. And he did a live, I think it was last week. He did a live on his channel. And he asked the viewers a question. Because some of the viewers were asking, why was Bud Crawford asking Al Heyman all of these questions in the negotiations? And they were basing that on the audio that was leaked by someone who was recording Errol Spence talking. And Errol Spence said that Al Heyman told him that, Bud Crawford kept asking him a lot of questions, And so Blue Blood Sports TV, he defended Bud Crawford, and he asked his viewers, this is what he asked. There's no such thing as asking someone too many questions. And he asked, how many questions is too many questions? This is what Blue Blood Sports TV said in defense of Bud Crawford. Well, now I'm going to empower all of you viewers, all of you subscribers, and even you professional boxers. Listen and hear me good. Let me answer that question. How many questions is too many questions? Uno. One question is too many questions to ask when you are talking to a manager or a promoter, as Bud Crawford said, who has the best interests of their fighter, and you do not have any representation. One question being asked is too many questions to ask when you do not have representation. Now, Bud Crawford is talking to Al Heyman, asking him all of these questions and getting advice from PBC fighters. Why is Bud Crawford asking Al Heyman all these questions and getting advice from PBC fighters instead of himself having good representation to speak on his behalf in these negotiations? That would be my question. Why doesn't Bud Crawford have representation talking to Al Heyman? Why has he got to get advice from other fighters that's being represented by Al Heyman?